r/AskReddit. What are some dumb purchases you made? A cactus that lights up. You can send it to me lol. Hey now, I love my lighty cactus. In fact, I'm sitting next to mine right this instant and it's already lit up. I bought a faceless doll to scare people. Turns out I was the most scared one. Why is there a faceless doll in your closet? I bought it to scare people. Wait a minute. Why does it have rear? Is this a sex doll? I refuse to answer more questions. I commissioned an artist to paint a portrait of my then girlfriend's dying pet rat. She had told me her rat was about to die a month before I got it. By the time it was ready, the relationship had ended and I didn't know what to do with it. I paid $90 for it and it was absolutely worth the price. Artist did an amazing job. I just didn't have anyone to give it to now. I ended up giving it to her anyway. I regret doing that since I probably just made her feel guilty. Thing is, I was fully aware we were about to break up. I just liked her so much and I was totally alone in a new state. I didn't think I was good enough to earn her love, so I tried to buy it. Real dumb. Honestly, if it meant something to her, it wasn't dumb. True, I'm glad I have walked away from relationships giving my best because, at the end of the day, 1. I don't ever wonder what if I did more. What if I really tried? What if I really gave myself and 2. I know that the person I was seeing knew, despite whatever else, that I am sweet, caring, thoughtful, and loving. Whether or not they were someone who was ready and or deserving of my love is something else, and does not take away from the value of my love. OP may have tried to buy her love, but my love language is gift giving. So I would never in a million years forget the generosity or the depth of a person who took time to think about me like that. To think about what I would find special. That's unique and special, and you/Studebaker should never waver in being the caring person that he is. That is not dumb. An ex broke up with me. She was the first person I dated and didn't really know how to navigate the breakup, so I bought her a really thoughtful gift for her birthday a month later. What a waste of money and time looking back on it. There's a lot of things I'd regret more than a gift for someone else. She obviously mattered at some point. So is nobody gonna ask what it was? $400 fish tank lighting. I wasn't carpenter enough to build the hood to mount it. It sits in the basement as a monument of my idiocy. In the past I convinced me parents to spend $500 for fish stuff. I don't know how they were convinced. They are your parents. They love you and just wanted to support your hobby as it made you happy. I've bought a lot of how to kits books, like how to knit, how to calligraphy, how to paint, how to write poetry, etc. Have I learned how to do a single one of those things? No. No, I have not. How to Google how to do stuff. Watch How to Basic. Getting home drunk and spending $15 on the Animal Crossing app. This has happened 3 times. A house in 2007. It's still not worth as much as we paid for it. My parents bought in 2004. Around 2012 to 2013 when I was applying for the FAFSA, it gave an error when I entered that they owed more on their mortgage than the house is worth. So what did you do? $75 in plants only to let them die because I forgot about them. There should be like an SPCA for plants, you know. Some place you can guiltlessly drop off your mangy neglected plant, and after a week of it sitting sadly on display, it gets taken out back and gassed. There's something similar at stores like Home Depot that gardeners call death row. It's the bargain rack of near dead plants that are dollar store priced. Take them home and treat them right, and they come back to life in no time. I bought an umbrella on a rainy day once from a cheap corner store that seemed like it was a hidden drug operation or something, and it broke that very day. Why would you buy an umbrella? They're free in that little tin can at coffee shops. Edit. Gold. Cool. Thank you. Those belong to people, George. When I was 7, I saved up for a 1-foot high porcelain Dalmatian from a department store. My pocket money was £1 a week. The dog cost £27. My mother still has it at her house. It's the kind of thing a 70-year-old would buy. I have no ducking idea what was going on in my head. Edit. I think it was ceramic, not specifically porcelain. Maybe as tall as 18 inches. This is the closest I could find images app Google link. I was obsessed with getting it, and I never had buyer remorse. It's also so completely out of character. OMG, when I was in 1st grade, we got school bucks for good behavior and we could buy things with them at the school store once a week. One of those things was a ceramic bunny, and when it was my turn to buy something, I raced over to get that bunny so no one else would get it first. No one else was going for that bunny. After I thought about it, I was like, WTF was I so worried about? Anyway, the reason I wanted it so much was to give it to my mom as a gift, and she kept it for ages. Well, it sounds like it was worth it. Accidentally bought stuff in Clash of Clans. Twice. I knew a guy in high school who worked at Burger King part-time just to exclusively fuel his Clash of Clans addiction. He legit spent his entire checks on that game. Wonder how he feels about it now. The Legend 27? I went on a first date with the girl that I liked. We live in New Jersey and it was July, so obviously I took her to the boardwalk. While we were there I saw a vendor selling hermit crabs, and my dumbass thought it'd be funny to buy them as a joke and try to impress her. I then realized after spending $30 on 2 crabs, 2 because one would get lonely, that I needed a proper setup. So we went to PetSmart and got a tank, food, sand, and a log for them to play on. Long story short, I spent over $100 on hermit crabs and supplies. Not to mention that the girl completely friend-zoned me, which is okay because now I have my 2 crabs, pickles and Georges to keep me company. Well, now you have a story about getting crabs on a first date. I must read for all hermit crab fans. This kills me every time I remember it, and it's honestly made me into the extreme money saver I am today. When I was younger, my family visited Niagara Falls. I had $50, which is a lot for a kid with no job, and was excited to buy some souvenirs. I spent it all on keychains. I only got like 6 of them, which made it to $50. They were all of the same place, too. It's not like they were from different cities. I wasted all the money I owned on freaking keychains. Who even uses those? It haunts me to this day. A shitty mall katana. While I was on a date, no less. It was a first date. There was not a second. Do you ever wonder if your date talked about that moment to their friends, like it was going well up until that point? There is no way it was going well up until that point. Those claw covers for cats to stop them from scratching up your furniture. They were ripped off the next day. He was gnawing at his little feet until everyone was gone. Kitten mittens? Is your cat making too much noise all the time? I spent $60 on an electric blue ceramic pumpkin. Edit. It is a different shade of blue than I thought. I haven't seen it in years because I hid it in the back of my garage after I broke the stem off. Imgur.com link. Sounds like a good purchase. Pics. Nice try, grandma. Bought Onishi for my Great Dane. Don't know why I bought it, but I think he liked it. So I have this cat that's constantly dressed up in stupid shit, and I know that people judge me for it. But in reality I figured one day that maybe he was constantly biting and scratching me because he was cold. Turns out I was right, and if he doesn't have a sweater on he just goes right back to being an a-hole. All in all, I would say you made the right choice, and now I no longer judge anyone with any animal in any sort of ridiculous attire, because I would rather have someone think I'm a crazy cat lady than be covered in scratches and bite marks. Kitties like to be squished. Makes them feel safe. The sweater squishes your cat so he feels safe. You should look into getting him one of those thunder jackets. Do they still make those? It might be even more effective. Not me, but my mom. She surprised me with a pair of fancy basketball shoes for my birthday, even though I'd never expressed any interest in such a thing, and I was neither cool nor athletic. I brought them to scout camp a few weeks later and lost one of them in the mud. They were original, size 11 Air Jordans, in 1984 or 1985. You are now banned from /sneakers. Deciding to go to grad school in 2012 -5 years after graduating for no other reason than I have no clue what to do with my life. Does it serve any purpose in your life now? My first pack of cigarettes. Smoked for years and it's been 5 or so years since my last. The lack of phlegm alone is worth it, not to mention the money. I turned the corner when I realized that the real effect of nicotine is to create a new need, like hunger and thirst. The good feelings I got from smoking were actually relief from the actual effects of the drug. kind of counterintuitive and it blew my mind. Looks nervously at all the games on Steam GOG that I've bought but haven't played ever. The alcohol stove I've bought recently didn't work as well as I had anticipated. When I was in middle school I thought it would look cool if I had a ton of games on Steam, so I spent hundreds of dollars on random games that I only played for a few hours at most. Yes, but you can still play them now. My sister has Beanie Babies. $200 Gucci slides for my high school graduation. Bro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.